Just when you think Christian movies can't get any worse, somehow they manage to top themselves. This month's popular new Christian movie is called The Second Coming of Christ. And when you consider the acting, the script, and the special effects, this might be the worst Christian movie ever made. And that's really fucking saying something. So it starts right out and shit ain't going well. Apparently people are in line and they're rationing food. Apparently there's a national crisis. All the plants are dying and nobody knows why.
This is a national crisis. All the plants in the world are dying and nobody knows why.
Bitch, I just said that! But nobody panic. This chick is the smartest scientist on the entire planet. And she's all the fuck over it. And this is her adopted Chinese daughter, who might just be the worst child actor in the history of cinema.
But what can you do? It's inevitable. It says in the book. What book? The Bible. It says right there, last chapter.
So anyway, next thing you know, there's this dirty old homeless man, and he's preaching to people on the street corner. And he's become best friends with this little Asian girl, because that's not creepy at all. And the mom ain't having it. She's like, let's get the fuck away from this skeevy homeless motherfucker. So the next thing you know, the most famous scientist in the world has to go give a speech to the UN and explain what the fuck's going on. And she's partnered up with this guy who is basically the president of Monsanto. He makes all the genetically modified food, and together they're gonna solve the food crisis. Well, spoiler alert, he's the fucking devil. Leave it to the devil to be a giant greasy douche who's making genetically modified food. But anyway, this is supposed to be the fucking UN, because this is totally what the United Nations is like. And so the smartest doctor in the world has to explain to everybody what the fuck's going on.
The change in the DNA sequence of the newer generations of plants has triggered a self-defense mechanism, and now the plants are attacking the foreign gene, meaning that they actually began to self-destruct. The honeybees, which account for 80% of our world pollinators, have been spreading the affected pollen from the genetically modified plants to all the rest.
Yeah, dudes, the plants are all pissed off because they've been genetically modified, so they decided to kill themselves, and somehow the bees are transmitting the killer DNA from plant to plant, and all the plants are killing themselves. That's just how nature works. And the UN's fucking shocked. Look at this old biddy right here. She's definitely the president of a country or something, and she's shocked. But nobody fucking panic. The smartest scientist in the world is gonna genetically modify the bees and make them immortal. And then the bees are gonna go from plant to plant and carry their immortal gene to the plants. And then when people eat the plants the bees landed on, everybody will become immortal. Science fucking rocks. And then for some reason, the devil decides to bring another guy out to speak, and it turns out it's the homeless preacher from the street corner. And guess what, guys? He's actually a famous scientist himself, and he cured cancer. I'm not making this shit up.
I would like to introduce you to the Nobel Prize laureate for medicine, the man behind the cure for cancer.
But of course, he's a good godly man, so he gave his billions of dollars away, and now he's just a fucking homeless dude on the street corner. And he's just come to let everybody know that science can't help. You motherfuckers need Jesus.
We must ask our Christ to come down and save us. We must ask Christ, our Lord, to come and evict our new resident from our minds and from our hearts. We must surrender to prayer and to faith. That is the only way we will survive. That is the only way to be immortal.
So of course, the United Nations is all like, fuck this guy. We want science. Make us immortal. So then the next thing you know, the UN votes to make the devil the ruler of the whole planet. And then afterwards, the devil and the guy that cured cancer are smack talking with each other. Apparently the guy that cured cancer knows this is the devil. And the devil's all like, Jesus ain't gonna help you. We gonna fuck you up. But the homeless preacher's like, I ain't scared. Even if I have to give up my life, I will never deny Jesus. And the devil's like, bitch, we'll see. So the next thing you know, the devil shows up, and he's all sweet on Lady Scientist. But she blows the devil off right now because she don't want her kid to see. So the devil slinks away all embarrassed as fuck. Then the next thing you know, they're rioting in the streets. Homeless cancer preacher gets punched in the face and has his soup kitchen robbed. So the devil got to get this bitch out of there. He sends the army to whisk her away to his secret compound out in the middle of the desert. Then her and the devil start making out. Suddenly she's down as fuck. But then this trifling bitch mentions the homeless preacher, makes the devil all jealous. So he storms off to talk to his army generals, and his army goons are like, we're taking all the food off the store shelves, just like you ordered us to, master. Because the devil trying to make sure everybody starves even fucking quicker. And shit is just going crazy in the streets. So Lady Scientist has to hurry up and genetically modify some motherfucking immortal bees to save everybody's life. And she's trying, but it ain't going very well. All the bees just keep dying and shit. So the next thing you know, you find out that Lady Scientist actually kidnapped the little Chinese girl from a hospital where they were murdering all the girl babies. And right then and there, she agreed to sell her soul to Satan if he let her escape with the baby. Apparently, she knew this dude was the devil the whole fucking time. And oh yeah, for some reason, the devil built a giant temple out in the middle of the fucking desert. This will be mildly important later. And all the rich motherfuckers from the United Nations are still eating well. They're drinking wine and shit. They're happy. Because everybody knows the United Nations is for the devil. Then the next thing you know, her little Chinese daughter's just running around outside being happy and shit. And then she collapses out of fucking nowhere. She's sick as fuck. And then for some reason, Meredith Salinger shows up. Meredith Salinger is Patton Oswalt's wife. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Patton Oswalt. But dude, I know we got feminism and everything these days, and women can do whatever the hell they want with their lives. But come on, man. Talk at your girl. Ain't no way she should be anywhere fucking near this movie. But she is. And she's trying to medicine up the little girl, but it ain't working. So her mama's all freaking out. And she tells the devil, bring me the homeless preacher right now. He's the only one who can save her. If you don't bring me that homeless preacher right now, I ain't gonna make your bees for you. So then the devil flies out personally to bring the homeless preacher out. You know, because he ain't got nothing better to do with this goddamn time. So then the homeless, cancer-curing preacher comes back to the devil's compound with him. And honestly, he ain't worth the shit. All he does is pray, which don't do goddamn shit. Meanwhile, Lady Genius Scientist finally fucking does it. She clones the immortal bees. It works. But then the next thing you know, her little girl dies. Even though they're praying like a motherfucker, Jesus don't do a goddamn thing to help them. And then the next thing you know, a bunch of thoughts are walking across the desert for some reason, all in their nice suits and shit, trying to reach the devil's new temple. And then the devil's like, welcome my generals. You guys are the most evil motherfuckers on the planet, and I love you. Thank you for coming. Together, we're gonna butt fuck this whole planet.
You lie. You cheat. You steal. You kill your babies before birth and after birth. And you hate. You hate. You hate with all your hearts. You hate your God and every other godly man out there. You killed your stupid Jesus, and then in his name, you cried. Your species deserves to die. But I won't let it. I will transform you. I will make you invincible. And I will make you immortal! Immortal! Immortal!
But then this bitch walks up and she ain't having it. She's like, oh hell no! I gave you my soul. You were supposed to make sure my daughter lived. But then the devil's like, I tell you what, I'll bring your little girl back, but you gotta do one thing. Ask me for the head of your cancer-curing preacher. If you ask me to cut his fucking head off, I'll bring your daughter back to life. But then the cancer-curing preacher walks up, and he's like, I ain't afraid of death. Go ahead, cut my head off, motherfucker. And so the devil cuts his head off. And then, even though he just told all these people he was gonna make them immortal, for some reason he releases a plague and kills everybody on the earth, including all the genetically modified bees. What the fuck was even the point in having her make all these bees if you were just gonna goddamn kill them immediately? It don't make any sense. But anyway, everybody on the face of the earth dies brutally. They choke and suffer and spasm on the ground in agony. But right before this bitch dies, she decides to become saved. She reaches out to heaven and she's like, Jesus, I totally fucking love you, dude. And then she dies brutally and horribly. So the devil's all jazzed about it. But the next thing you know, Oh shit! Guess who's coming to dinner? That's right, fucking Jesus comes back. And the devil, he ain't very happy about it.
Light of the world. No, 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 no! I want! No. Please don't come back! Don't come back! I want!
I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. My reward is with me to give every man according as his work has been. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
So then the devil runs back in his temple and it collapses and he dies and shit. And then Jesus decides to bring everybody back to life. And they're like, fucking thanks, Jesus. Why didn't you come back like 10 minutes ago before we all suffered and died brutally? Why didn't you come back like last year before we were all fucking starving to death? What kind of sick fucking games are you playing, dude? Why are you going through all this pageantry? It's just stupid. But anyway, all the plants instantly grow back again. Everybody's back to life. And then suddenly the cancer curing preacher beams into existence. And he's like, Jesus wanted me to take care of you guys. And so they all hold hands and they walk off into the sunset. Then we zoom out to outer space and shit, just so you know that God and Jesus control fucking everything in the entire universe. And all of this was just part of his infinitely wise plan to torture everybody so that he could come back and save the day as the John hero. Just like the total cocksucker he is. You know, movies like this are absolute proof that God doesn't exist. Because if a supernatural being actually did exist, you fucking know he would be making a lot better movies than this. But anyway, thanks for making these movies, Christians. They're actually so bad that they're amazing. Please continue to make many more. Hope you enjoyed this steaming pile of shit. I love you guys, and as always, until next time, logic. Fuck yes. Hey guys, Dusty Smith here, and thanks to the adpocalypse, now almost all of my videos are demonetized. I'm pretty much only making money off my videos now through a Patreon account. And for those of you who don't know, we set up an animal sanctuary here in Mississippi for rescued animals, the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we try to spread humanism and secularism throughout the South by doing good deeds. So if you can afford to, even $1 or $2 helps. We're doing some good work here, and it's all because of you. Thanks, guys.